Good evening and welcome to the Titlis Glacier Mountain World Women's Curling Championships, coming to you live from the Volvo Sports Centre, Riga, Latvia. Our feature game this evening will be Russia taking on China. So we're just taking a look at the teams. I am Kenny Edwards and I'm joined by Richard Harding. And there we see the winners of the first game: Denmark, Germany, Switzerland and United States. China and Russia both losing their opening encounters. So, game just about to get underway. It'll be China with the red stones, Russia with the yellow. So Richard, did you expect it to be many stones in play after a nervous start for both teams?
It's quite hard to read just how this game will go at the beginning. China, of course, suffered quite a serious defeat in the first game. And this team pretty much is the same one that were world champions in 2009 in Korea. So they have a bit of work to do to recover from. It wasn't just that they got beaten earlier, they got quite well beaten. And so I think mentally they've got a bit of work to do here. And perhaps surprisingly, Russia also losing. Do you think Russia perhaps were one of the favoured teams going into this? They are right up there at the moment in Europe.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're reigning European champions, so you would expect them to be able to turn over a team like Germany in the opening of this World Championships. Went down 11-9 after 10 ends. Germany managing to pick up a 3 in the final end. But with our feature game, we've just seen an early mistake from China. So Ekaterina Galkina for Russia. That one just comes down into the house, obviously trying to get good separation between both stones with that one. So rules of play, it's a minimum of 6 ends, 73 minutes with 1 coach interaction.
So as quite often happens, the end being kept fairly clear. And good attempt there, but just rolling a bit too far for China, and the chance again for the Russians to draw to the other side of the house and lie 2 shots well spread apart from each other.
Yeah, this time for Russia it's Margarita Fomina, 24-year-old. That's her 7th World Championships, so quite a bit of experience in this young Russian team. So, and obviously a lot of experience in the Chinese team, former world champions.
Shang Shui there, hitting and sticking to lie first shot for China. And Fomina Going to try and repeat that shot of the Chinese to lie 2 again. This one's a little bit on the wide side, I think.
Yeah, Russia do have that all-important last stone.
Well, she hits and sticks. So, keep swapping shots and you'll probably pick up 2 here. If they keep hitting in the nose, though, to go out the front of the house, they'll need to get a roll to the side where it would leave the chance of a double takeout. To count 2.
Yeah, no real great danger for China. I mean, if they could just hit and roll maybe across to the opposite side of the house, the scoring area, with the skip stones, it maybe force Russia into a slight mistake. They might be able to get out of this end without giving up any more than 2.
Prudivkova this time, hitting and rolling across, and Bingyu Wang indicating to hit and roll further across to lie in front of the Russian stone. Try and force the raise onto the Russian counter with their stone. This one's close. Hit and roll. Well, not quite enough roll.
In these early ends, it's really important to stick around with these takeouts. What it does is gives the opportunity for the opposing team to find or draw weight if you don't stick around.
So the last of the third player's stones here, and this could jam. No, she's passed it. Lies 2 once again. So the end is looking set to deliver Russia a deuce for an early lead, but you never know.
Bingyu Wang, skip for China. Playing clockwise or in-tongue takeout. And hits, rolls across. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, nice shot, but it does give the chance to hit and roll the other way without any danger of jamming it on the back yellow counter. Of course, if she hits it on the nose, she will just do exactly that. But so she has to catch the high side of this, the side nearest to the centre of the circle, to remove the Russian, the Chinese stone, and to lie 2. So Anna Sidorova, her first shot in this game.
And does push things around, sticks in the 8 foot.
Well, that's a poor shot. It's now China lie the second shot. They have a chance to lie 1 and 2 here. So the opportunity for Russia to pick up 2 has pretty much disappeared after that.
Well, I've got to be careful here, Richard. Don't want to hit the yellow on the right-hand side as we look at the overhead. Drive it back onto the red, giving up a silly 3.
Yeah, she has to. Notice she's taking the other hand here. Outturned. Stone will draw from right to left on its way down. Slightly curious thing to do at this stage, given they haven't played it all end. Is it going to work out? It certainly is. She removes them both. No chance of Russia picking up 2 now. In fact, it's a hit for 1. So Bing Yu Wang making 2 good shots in this first end for China.
So final stone of the first end for Anna Sidorova. Looking for just a nose hit. Needs to stay fully in the 12 foot. No problem at all. So after the first end, Russia on the board. They lead 1-0.
So it's quite a big game this for both these teams. We're only in the second session, but if you have 2 straight losses off the top, you've only really got 1 more loss before you're into playoff territory at the end of the week.
Yeah, you don't really start the tournament off with 2 defeats in the first day. I think wouldn't do the conference any good at all.
And one of these teams is going to do that. In fact, it's probably a more interesting result if China happen to win here and leave Russia trailing on 0-2, being the European champions and being expected to do well here, perhaps to win this championship. So in number 2, the guard in front of the house, delivered by Russia. Now the draw behind.
Yeah, it's the 4-rock free guard zone that we use at the World Championships. So that stone can't be removed from play if it's short off the scoring area or the house. This one looking pretty pacey. Slips back tee, not where you want to be. You want to just sit top of the 4 foot.
So being a bit heavy, that allows Russia to come around their own front guard. What would you do here? Try and freeze onto that, or just?
I think you just throw one top of the 4 foot, Richard.
Well, actually, it looks as if they're trying to remove that stone. It's quite defensive play.
Yeah, it's not something you see too much heading stones back of the tee line. Certainly not with the leads.
slowing down towards the end of its run there. That stone to me looked as if it was running quite freely, but it slowed up pretty quickly. Not the ideal shot from China.
Yes, I think you're going to have to come down, looking at the overhead, down the head on here, around the out turn, and that's what they're going to go for.
I fully expect the stones to curl here. This one a bit light in weight as well, perhaps. Have to drag it. Well, it slowed up markedly at the end. There's a little bit of a crowd in here tonight, adding to the heat load perhaps on the ice. Hope the ice makers are watching it carefully. Don't want any meltdowns.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly actually in here. Certainly not the warmest arena I've been in. So over on sheet B, Switzerland taking on Italy, facing 3 Italian stones. Teranzoni, Swiss skip, trying to go after the one in behind the guard and catches the corner guard, and it will be a steal of 3 for Italy in the first. So back with China, Russia. Things have moved around. China got the corner guard and one in behind it. That's a great shot, but just doesn't curl enough.
Well, might have left that just a little bit shorter, stopped the sweeping a little bit sooner, and then there would have been a chance to bump it onto the red stone. As it turns out, that shouldn't happen, so going for the hit and the tap back and roll. Bin Yu Wang indicating that shot. Second stone for Qing Shuang Wei. Nice shot. Perhaps have liked a little more roll to the right hand side as we look at it. To be facing right in front of the yellow Russian stone in the back of the 4-foot circle. So Privivkova, third player for Russia. And Russia employing the services of Thomas Lips from Switzerland these days as the coach. They've had a few coaches in Russia over the last year or two. Never seemed to last very long.
Yeah, so China looking for a flop in behind the corner guard. Just not managing it. So
Wai Dong Tan, Chinese coach. Plenty to think about after the morning, or the afternoon, sorry, debacle. The big loss. So Privakova, her second shot here in the second end. Score 1-0 for Russia. Lying first shot certainly, but two Chinese stones at the moment, trying to remove them both. Well, one of them goes, but the other one's still there, lying second shot.
over on sheet D, Scotland with one in the 8-foot. Eve Muirhead, skip of the team, looking to hit the paint to try and pick up two here in the first. And sweepers, Vicky Adams on the right, Claire Hamilton on the left. She's keeping this one clean all the way down. And that one will pull up in time. A score of 2, they lead 2-0 over Canada. So I think you're probably going to play the out turn, take out, well, barrier weight maybe, or hack weight.
Hack weight, just enough really to push the stone to where these hacks are. Stand 6 foot behind the blue circle. Not too heavy because she has to allow for some curl on the shot if she wants to save her shooter. Busy explaining all about this, of course, but now she's going to do something completely different.
Yeah, I do not like this call, Richard, at all.
Why not?
If you don't quite make it, they hit and roll in behind again. You could be facing 3 or 4 by the time you come to play your last. So.
Yeah, I don't know the shot we were looking at where we thought about the curl on the out turn, tap it back. I think the shot was on. You would see at least half the stone from the hack, I think.
Yeah, even if it did run a little straight, you'd have frozen the, you'd get a freeze in the back one or something like that. Yeah, so there was options with that, but this is rather aggressive. So that one just over curled. Didn't jump on it too early, so maybe grab something. So I think risk over reward. I think it's probably worth going for the thin double on this one, Richard, to set 3.
Well, you don't think the stone on the left will jam on the red one? First counter? Big chance of that.
It shouldn't if you catch it thin enough. I think it's certainly worth it because you're always going to have a 4-foot draw for your single to get yourself out of trouble.
So be careful not to go whizzing through the little gap between the two yellows.
Yeah, like you say, it's a risk over reward. I think it's an opportunity that's there. You've got to take it.
Well, we're on to N2 and first of our disagreements of the evening. I think there's too high a risk for jamming the yellow onto the red stone. And so does Bingyu Wang. She's not bothering with Kenny's suggestion. Taking loads of ice here. At least 6 feet of curl she's expecting on this. Trying to draw behind that stone in the front of the 8-foot circle, the white 8-foot circle. Trying to draw right round that. Which is also an interesting call. So plenty of weight, I think. I think this one looks pretty heavy. Well, curling to lie 2, which she will do.
Well, it does leave a nice hit and roll. If they can get hit rolling behind these 2 yellows, they could be in trouble again.
Well, it could certainly lie first shot and make it tough to get at the shot for Bingyu Wang. Russia leading 1-0 here with 2 stones to go in the second end. And the chance to hit and roll in behind the guards and set up a good position for a steal of a point. So Sidorova, her last stone.
Supers out with the persuader. Is this one over curling? No, played it well. Will it hang around? It does. So, would you maybe take your comment back and say the double earlier on in the end was the shot, Richard?
No. Well, I don't know actually. The shot I quite fancied was just hitting the front one out and lying 1, 3 and first, third and fourth shot. Hitting the front stone, not trying for the double. That would have been pretty safe, not maybe all that exciting, but still leaving the chance of 2, and if there was a mistake, maybe more than 2. As it is now, China in a bit of bother. She's got to make this draw shot. To the 4-foot circle, needs to get a bite, or touch the red 4-foot circle.
Yeah, the weight's looking pretty
Surface,
close.
I think it's plenty of weight.
It's pretty close. Will it pull up? It doesn't, and it will be a steal of 1. So maybe a tactical error with one of our calls, and just not quite coming up with the goods.
Well, that was quite a tough one. From touchdown to stopping in the back of the 4-foot, 27 seconds on my watch. So the ice, to me, it looks a little bit green, a little bit new, but in fact, that shot indicating that it's quite slick. Score then 2-0 for Russia after 2 ends.
Into the third end, China versus Russia. Russia leading 2-0. We are here in the Volvo Sports Centre, Riga, Latvia, for the Titlis Glacier Mountain World Women's Curling Championships. This is draw 2. I am Kenny Edwards and I'm joined by Richard Harding. And we're going to give you some running commentary during this game. So China now really being forced to go in the offensive and throw corner guards and try and get some cover.
And how would you set about doing that effectively?
Well, with the 4-free guard zone, where the stones, if they're played short of the scoring area of the house, the lead stones can't be removed from play until the 5th stone of the end. So what you do is you generally throw corner guards, that red stone up there to the right, and try and pull the play away from the centre when you're trying when you have got last stone. And if you don't have last stone, you also want to try and maybe clog the centre up, throw some guards in and around the centre line so you can get some cover. So over on sheet A, Ria Pritz of Sweden playing the nose hit. They pick up 2 and they take the lead 2-1 over the host nation, Latvia. So they're playing the takeout on this top yellow, which means it must be in the house.
Well, from our angle it didn't look in the house, but it must have been. So good shot there from Russia.
China electing to throw more guards and just hopefully wait for a mistake. They only trailed by 2, so it's not very difficult to pick up a 2. All you need is a slight mistake. Margarita Firmina throwing the heat with this one. Good rotation on the stone. It's exactly what you want when you're peeling the guards. So sheet B, Italy 3-0 up on Switzerland. Switzerland facing another 2 counters, but managed to play the nose hit and take the single point. They now trail 3-1 after 2 ends.
So Russia lying 2 here. And Anna Sidorova indicating to remove this guard. It's quite defensive strategy in the third end.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any need to overcomplicate things, Richard. You see, didn't throw the big handle on that, Richard, and did come down and catch it pretty much full in the face.
How'd you throw the big handle?
Well, you generate obviously with the wrist, but it generates more of a spring if there's more of a handle on it, and when it makes contact.
So lots of rotations.
Yeah, lots of rotation on it.
That straightens it out as well, I think, a little bit. Instead of the amount of curl it would get, it would be less curl. So now we're back to a blank house, empty house. The Russians not showing any signs of wanting to try for a steal here. Just take the guard off. It's particularly defensive. I don't think I'd be doing that, do you?
I think there's no reason why not, Richard. Why overcomplicate things? You might draw the open side.
I think so. I don't think they could go far wrong drawing the open side there. There wasn't anything really guarding very much.
So, China now just electing to throw stones into the house. Maybe just try and blank this third end. Sidorova will just try and hit and stay in the house. And does that without any problems, and I'm sure China will just do exactly the same. Maybe later in the game you would elect to draw around the yellow stone in the 12 foot to try and force a mistake, force Russia to come after you. But I think it's a little bit too early in the game to go aggressive like that.
Well, the pattern's set at this end where it's just going to be defense strategy to the end of it, so I don't think we're going to see a change over the next couple of 3 stones anyway. 2 for China, 1 for Russia. Ooh. Well, that was a bad shot from Bing Yuang.
You see it just over curling, just feathers the yellow stone, doesn't remove it from play. You're quite familiar with that shot, Richard, aren't you? So interesting that Anna Sidorova isn't splitting the house, maybe drawing to the open side. She's actually electing to draw to the centre line.
Really no guards in play here, so Russians just choosing to draw a second shot. She's going to force China to hit and stay unless they want to lose a shot. Here, this one has to be in though. Oh, nice weight. So, Sidorova and her team. From Moscow are 2-0 up and lying 1 stone to go here. This stone of Ping Yuang's in the third end. Ping Yuang going for the hit on the nose to take a point here, which I think she makes. 1 point to China to narrow the score. So, after 3 ends, Russia leading China 2 shots to 1.
So into the 4th end, China trailing Russia 2-1. And Anna Sidorova will have the all-important last stone here in the 4th.
Okay. 17 秒.
So, Katerina Galkina.
Зайти. Внимательно. Да-да-да, не бросать, не бросать.
83% for her thus far. Zhu lead for China, jumping up at the end of her delivery.
Yeah, a little surprised why throw the centre guard then play the takeout in this back one.
No, very strange tactic to me. Not going to set up much play doing that because the Russians will just face that stone, perhaps. A little surprised to see them not just taking it out, but quite pleased that they're not. Pretty good shot here.
I don't know if it was the right call, but certainly played it really well.
Once more for China. King Shuang Yue. for the hit.
Okay.
And really, it's only a half shot being asked for there. She's not adding much to the end from the Chinese perspective, in my view.
Намного больше линии.
Вес немного надо будет, может быть.
Нет.
Не, веса. Не.
So, is this a mistake? No, manages just to draw off. So looking for the hit and stick. Try and remove the yellow from play. And this one, is it going to hang around in the 12 foot? Just rolls too far.
So Russia and Sidorova again selecting the draw to the face of the Chinese stone because it's at the back of the house. If this works out, then Russia will lie one.
Supers are going to have to go really hard to get this one dragged down. Bit of an error there. Really needed to be sitting shot. And thankfully, China elected to play the inter draw rather than remove the yellow.
Well, I think this is the shot they have to go for, definitely. Try and lie two. Good looking shot.
Yeah, is it fully buried? I don't think it is though.
13 秒. 4, наверное.
4, 5, так отбудь вместе там где. Что, так плохо валит?
Там не очень варят. Там варят, конечно, но так.
So,
В конце.
Privivkova. She will play her first stone here in the fourth end.
Внимание! Нет, нет.
And they get it past the guard. And is it going to squeeze out the other side? I think it does. So we take a look at the sweeping action.
Не знаю.
Ты резко валил, да?
Не повалил, да. Мне казалось, был чуть поуже, но мягко не. Голос у меня сорвался.
Sweepers again on this one. And feathered the guard. And that one slips through in between two yellow stones. And Russia now looking good to possibly pick up more than just a single here in the fourth.
I think that's the difference in this game. Russia, although the score's only 2-1, Russia do have last stone advantage here in the fourth end. And they're certainly playing more solidly than China, just making little mistakes.
don't think there's any reason why you would go after that red.
Мне нравится. Просто, блин, сюда вести чуть оттолкнуть, она
даже если она прячет, мне все выталкивается, мне кажется, да? Не так страшно нам.
Ну,
Но единственное плохо, если мы сюда поставим, да, она начнет... Главное, чтобы не было такого, что она с этой стороны полезет за все это.
не, ну он стоит достаточно близко, чтобы ей там за начало,
Я
допустим,
понимаю, она
завозить.
может. Как бы тут есть, да, вариант вот сюда. Вот сюда, вот сюда, вот сюда. Все будет ближе. Вот так.
So, I think they have got to the right call, which is just a tight guard, maybe just half in the 12 foot.
Look at that picture there. We could see they still have the chance to touch that red one back eventually if they want to, but right now, I think the shot being nominated as the right shot.
And this one looks as if it's got plenty running on it from Ludmina Krivkova. And isn't even close to getting what she was after.
No, that's not particularly good.
I'm going to take that one right back, throw it again.
Chance here for the hit and roll off that shot to lie. First stone maybe locked onto the yellow. That possible?
Yeah, I think so. Might be able to play the double and spin back in behind the red.
We can see here she hits the yellow stone that her brush is next to and rolls in to lie right on top of the other yellow stone. Then it's going to be a tough call to remove the Chinese counter, which would probably be lying first shot. So, first stone here in the fourth end for Bingyu Wang, world champion in Gangneung, Korea in 2009, but hasn't really featured at the end of these major championships since then. 56% here, too many loose shots from her. Three stones to go in the fourth end. Two for Anna Sidorova, one for Bingyu Wang.
Yeah, so there you see Anna Sidorova just cleaning the underside of the stone. These stones obviously they aren't solid anymore. They're got a little insert on the running base. You want to explain what that is, Richard?
Well, still pretty solid. That's just the different types of granite. The one on the base is not susceptible to any form of pitching, which is important so that the stones can be consistent. Russia trying to guard their shot here, which they do pretty effectively.
Yeah, it's a real nice stone.
Great shot from Sidorova to lie two, and they're at least part of the way round this guard at the front. just maybe 2 or 3 feet over the hog line. See the sweeping once more. Very nice shot indeed from the Russian skip. And Anna Sidorova wasn't always the skip in this team. So now 2 stones to go. China in a bit of bother here. What do you think, Kenny?
I think they can just see around half stone, so if they play a quiet way to take it, they might be able to get the double, but
she's certainly got plenty of weight. Has she got the line though? She has not. Hit and run, and Russia will have a free draw to fully into the white to lie 2 for a 4-1 advantage. And Bing Yu Wang going to be trailing 4-1 after this shot, I think.
So this will be the final stone of the 4th end. Russia taking on China. Similar shot to her previous one, just needs a piece of the 8 foot. Looking pretty nice. Just keeping it clean all the way down.
No problem for Sidorova with that one. Perfect draw for 2. Russia bouncing back from their earlier defeat to Germany. Andrea Schupp. She won the world title in Canada. Tight finish she had back in 2008. Beg your pardon, 2010 Swift Current was where Andrea Schupp won her world title, so the year after the Chinese won.
So I think it's really important for China not to give up any more points here in this 5th end. It's really important they get on the board, even if it is a single.
Well, they really need to try and get more than 1 stone, but I think they've played very negative tactics in the early part of the game, and then they've just made a few unforced errors.
Katerina Galkina will have the chance just to guard that stone in the 8 foot on the centre line.
Что-то он сел.
Да-да-да, начало, да-да-да. Обязательно, это какой-то боковой едет.
guard it, so I like to be as close as possible to the house. Now China could just remove that stone, but they have to make a bit of a play here to try and get into position to score 2 points and tighten the game back up again. 4-1 lead is always a nice score to have.
So they do get past the corner guard. Has it sneaked out the other side? I think you might be able to see a little bit of it, but straight away Sadrova not wanting to get involved. As you see, the stone, it's curling really hard once it gets into the house. So off with the corner guard. To play the takeout on the yellow stone on the centre line. Do remove it, but don't get hidden and leave quite a straightforward double or hit and rolling for Russia. Make the double, but roll over the top of the red.
That always looked as if it was going to do that.
So, I think China have the chance to play the out-turn draw around this corner guard. Have they got enough weight? Can't afford to leave this one short.
Sweeping furiously to try and drag it further, but that's a bad shot. And you know, it's just these loose shots that are costing them points here. Advantage back to Russia. Hit. Hit the Chinese stone out. Lie one shot. The Russians don't have to play anything fancy, just keep the game fairly simple.
So just ignoring that yellow and trying to come around it. Slipping right to the back of the 8-foot.
Well, not really a very good shot there, Kenny.
No, you want that one just top of the 4-foot. This leaves Ludmina Krivkova straightforward freeze on that back red. Maybe even bump it through a little.
just moves it an inch or two. Russia will lie 1 and 2 here. They lead, remember, 4 shots to 1.
Well, they've got it past the red though. They haven't, so that was the chance that China may have been waiting on.
Yes, that's a really poor shot from Privivkova.
打甩一个啊，也行。前进那框太窄了，打甩吧。8秒5、9秒，行吗？行。5、9秒，5、
So looking for a hit and roll. And good effort, but doesn't get right in behind the yellow guard. And
Нормально.
should Russia make the hit and roll? They've got quite a lot to roll in behind. So just a controlled takeout rate. Looking to catch just on the inside. Oh, great shot. Just does enough to make it really difficult for China to remove now.
Three stones then remaining here. Russia lying first shot, at least partially guarded by their own stone just outside the house at the top of our screen. And China lying the second shot in the back of the house.
12秒 ，OK， 12秒。
China have last stone here, so I think they've really got to tap that back. What do you think, Kenny?
Yeah, I think so. They could have a run at the guard, but I don't think that's an option.
Don't think it really gains you very much. I think you've got to have a tap back here and perhaps roll right out to the wing. Hope to take it past that back red stone. Spread the play, perhaps force the Russians to take your stone out on the wing. Hope they don't get a big roll the other way to lie guarded, and then maybe get a chance to get your two back with a draw. I don't think that's the plan here. I'm not actually quite sure what the plan is. Is she trying the raised takeout here?
I think so. Trying to smash the guards off.
Well,
I think possibly, Richard, you play the double on the top guards if you're going to do anything. Not ignore the yellow in the house. Try and catch the back of the second guard that's tied to the house and come down in.
so Bing Yu Wang, she's having a go at the raised double. She fails with that. So just deciding where she wants to place this stone. And actually, it's a fairly good chance that Russia might steal another point here.
Well,
Beg your pardon.
I think they're going for the takeout in the back red.
Yeah, she's. That's fairly defensive, but perhaps with good reason when they're 4-3. Sorry, 4-1 ahead. So Anna Sidorova, last one here in the fifth end before the fifth end break.
And this one has just took off.
Curling a lot now. Oh, caught the guard. Well. Now suddenly out of the blue. Chance for China to score 2 points here. And I have to say it would be against the run of play.
Final stone of fifth end, just before the break. Straightforward takeout, and no problem at all. And they will pick up two. And the score now 4-3 in Russia's favour as the teams take a short break. So will we. And we will bring you the conclusion of this game between Russia and China. Third end. Russia really controlling things. And skip Bingji Wang having to hit and stay and pick up the single. A piece of the 8 foot for two. Straightforward draw. For Mina and Galkina, just keeping that one clean, and the score would be 4-1 in Russia's favour. China picking up two in the fifth, so 4-3 Russia lead. Elsewhere, Sweden and Latvia, it's 2-2. Fifth end is still to be completed there. Italy 3-1 leaders over Switzerland, and Scotland 3-2 ahead over Canada.
When they now play offensive, we have to try to keep the game a bit simple. Very possible. Like we did in the past when we make the views.
Сейчас центр открыть?
Да, обязательно взять.
Play jump.
Run up with hand. I said before, these hands, you see the motion, mistakes happen.
Welcome back to the Titlis Glacier Mountain World Women's Curling Championships 2013. Draw 2, China taking on Russia. We are in the 6th end. Yang Zhu, 70% on all shots so far.
OK。踩要底线。
稍微近一点，要不然那太高了，跟没站。
OK。好球。
China just ignoring the yellow stone in the 12-foot. They really feel that they're going to have to go for the steal here in the 6th. It does give the opportunity for Russia to play the come around.
75, только вес.
Ты первая.
Только вес.
Только вес, девочки. Дойти. Похож. Если можно, да. Только вес.
Ничего нет.
Весом совсем.
Вижу, ничего нет. Пусть умрет.
Ничего.
Садится. Пусть, о,
Нет,
ничего
нет,
до
нет,
конца.
нет, нет,
Ничего
нет,
до конца.
нет, нет. Хорошо. Молодец, спасибо. OK， 亮哥可以放，接不他下线，要他下线擦。
China looking to play the corner freeze on this yellow and doing a pretty good job.
OK， 好球。
我感觉差别挺有大哈。
And quite rightly,
чуть-чуть поменьше капельку.
Margarita Formina will be asked to take the guard out of play. 80%.
6.
Only does throw the up weight shots well. Nice big handle for playing the takeout on the guards.
OK，往下踩踩，要，碰实力，踩踩。
So off with the guard. I think we'll see China continue to throw this and then maybe make a play their second last with maybe skips first stone. Little favourable, I would say. I don't feel she's probably been in about the 80% mark. I think maybe a little bit lower than that. Now, China really with no other option but to put the hit and roll off this yellow stone on the button.
Well, it's still China that have to make the running in this game. They're trailing 4-3 and they don't have the advantage. Try to get in behind the guard here. 66%. It's an improvement in the last end or two, scoring the 2 in the 5th. Helped her statistics. In the case, Russians European champions at the moment. Played pretty solidly here. A couple of little errors, but most of the errors have come from China. Well, just needed to leave that alone and hope it curled another few centimetres, and then they would have got the roll nicely behind the guard. As it is, Bun Yu Wang can see this one to hit and roll to the wing. So she will try and hit this yellow stone and roll off to the left as we look at it from this shot.
Yeah, important she doesn't catch the guard with this one.
And the Chinese skip playing pretty big weight here. Passing the guard by quite a bit. She will roll to the wing. The stones are sticking quite well in the house. They're not running freely out the back or out the side. So you can afford to play a little more weight, catch not so much of the shot, and it'll still lie in the house for you, like that one did.
Yeah, I think Anna Sidorova will want to play the hit and run, not score a point here, just retain last stone advantage heading into the 7th.
Yeah, probably, but I don't should be all that worried one way or the other. Well, hits and runs out. And the score will stay at 4 shots to 3 in favour of Russia. After 6 ends. And the other feature about this championship in Latvia is that we're only 11 months away, 10.5 months away from the next Winter Olympic Games in Sochi in Russia. And this event is a counting event in terms of points in which nations will be going to Sochi and potentially. There you can see the score at each end. China scoring 1 at the third and 2 at the fifth. Russia scoring 1 at the first, stealing a point at the second to gain their advantage, taking 2 more in the fourth end. So 4 shots to 3, Russia lead. Katerina Galkina. Throwing the stone to the back of the. Another guard up, but really too close together when it comes to the moment for hitting them off. These can both be removed with 1 hit.
Later in the end. So nice draw from Katerina Galkina. Over on sheet D, Scotland taking on Canada. Canada sitting 2, and Eve Muirhead with her last stone, trying to hit and stay. And how's it looking? And makes it perfectly, so they will pick up the single point. They lead 4-2 after 6 ends. And China trying to chase the Russian stone in the 1 foot and just pulling up short. And straight away Anna Sidrova deciding it's time to have the guards out of play, so she'll make her way out of the house and put her brush right next to that red stone. And Margarita Faminat look to blast these off. And nearly does what was asked for. Would have liked the yellow to roll, the yellow shooter to roll also.
Wang indicating the draw on the other hand here for Ping Shuang Hui to replace that guard. She does, but it's really a bit too close to the yellow Russian stone. Another chance to remove both shots here. Well, just catches an edge. Hasn't taken the stone out of play, but she has removed it right to the edge, opening the house up again, and we can just go across to the game between Italy and Switzerland. Italy, of course, jumped to a 3-0 lead in the first end. Switzerland taking one back at the second. It's been blank since then. And Italy have to raise this and remove it. But the Swiss counter just rolls to the back of the 8 foot to stay counting shot. And they steal a point to narrow the score to 3-2. So 3-2 for Italy after 6 ends of play over on sheet B. Back to our game on sheet C. The guard replaced there and now being removed once more by Privevkova. And she will just touch that stone to the edge as well. So the house open once more. China once again going for replacing the guard. I think this is the right strategy here. I've got to try and engineer a steal of a point.
Yeah, absolutely, Richard. I think China have just got to try and force a mistake.
And once more the removal of the guard with Privevkova's second shot here in end number 7. Away it goes.
So I think they may be electing just to come around and sit to the left of the yellow one on the button.
Well, I think she's trying to come around her own shot here, just lie on top of the button. I think that's the shot to go for anyway. Russia do lie first and second stones there. Be a little bit careful. If she ends up short in any way, she will be just guarding the Russian shot. And with 3 stones to go after this one, the Russians might be tempted just to guard it. So she has to lie first stone here. Must get past this front stone of her own. She's done that. Is she going to lie first shot? Well, she certainly is. It's a beauty.
Yeah, that's a great stone.
And to remove that one, 2 options. Raise the front red. Raise the front red onto the other one, or come racing past at fairly high speed, but I think it's so well played, there's a big chance that the red stone would remain locked on the button.
Yeah, I think this is probably the call. You've just got to watch where the red that's right next to the brush there doesn't bounce back onto the yellow in behind.
So Anna Sidorova, the first of her 2 stones here in the 7th end. Big push at the end there. And this is high. You need to curl quite a bit. Wow. shot. But China still live first shot here. Now perhaps an easier stone and away to just draw around the front Russian counter to lie 2.
Nearly so perfect with that one. Just curls another 5 or 6 millimeters. They would be still sitting shot in behind that high yellow in the top of the house.
So Bing Yu Wang needing her best shot here to force the play to Russia. So this one looking pretty good. Got to get round the yellow Russian stone onto the 4-foot circle to lie first shot. Well, pretty nice. Right on the button. Perhaps half covered. We might be able to see how well covered this is from the eye of the skip for her last stone. Well, just unfortunately blocking us a little bit, but there we can see perhaps she can maybe see half the shot. Danger is, of course, that she could jam it onto her own stone at the back and leave China stealing 2. That's the big danger here. So just playing a lesser weight to tap that back a few inches and lie 1 shot. I think that's the aim here, Kenny.
Yeah, I think so.
Too much danger in hitting it back too hard and locking on the back one and rolling your shooter out of play. So this will be a lighter weight. Must be careful it doesn't over curl and catch your own stone in the front of the house. Line all important here. It's needed to curl now.
He needs to curl a long way. But does enough, and it will be a single point for Russia. They extend their lead to 2 shots. It is 5-3 now after 7 ends.
So a 1 point in there for Russia to lead 5 shots to 3. 3 more ends of regulation play remaining. China trailing by 2, but they do have last stone advantage here in the 8th. from China. Yanju.
Yeah, throwing up the corner guard, it's a little bit long. I like that, maybe around 6 feet short of the house. So that's a nice draw from Katerina Galkina, right round on to the button.
It's interesting looking at the history of the Chinese team. They first really came to prominence in 2004, so this is their 9th competitive season at the World Championships. Been at these championships since 2006.
Trying to hit and roll in behind the corner they threw it earlier in the end. And just rolls a little bit too far and is open. And there's the matchup, Zhu against Firmina. And you see it 83 to 87%.
Pretty fair reflection of the game, I think, at that position. And I was just saying, China have been playing in the championships properly since 2006. They were in the Pacific qualifier since 2004. And it was pretty much improvement all the way till 2009, but after that, a 7th spot and an 11th spot last year in Lethbridge, Canada. So we need to arrest the decline. And Kenny, they are full-time curling athletes. So do you think they're over curled? Do you think they do too much curling? And so if you do that, you can get just bored with it a little bit, and then the other teams can beat you more easily, because although you might be able to play quite well, your mental strength is less.
I tend to agree. I certainly think you can over curl, spend too much time in an ice rink, spend too much time with the same people as well. These guys are travelling the world week in, week out, spend a lot of time with them. But over in Sheet A, Sweden, Latvia. Latvia drawing against a handful of Swedish stones. And you see it right down onto the 8 foot, and they will pick up the single, and it's still Sweden leading 6-3 after 7 ends.
So a nice shot there from Chinese second player, Xuan Hui.
Ludmina Krivovkova taking the guard off and rolls out of play herself, so not much cover for China, but They do have that red stone in the 8 foot, which could possibly help them later in the end.
There we can have a look at these percentages. Privakova, 89%. Well and truly out shooting her Chinese opponent, Yin Liu. China line 2, but it's not too complicated to remove these.
Great shot from Privakova. Tidies things up.
So Russia now line 2 once more. The last stone of the third player's coming here. Yin Liu. And being forced really just to play a takeout on this shot. Hoping for the roll to the wing to lock onto the side one. Well, good effort, but just needed to roll a bit more. So skip stones now. What's your overall view of this game, Kenny? It's been a little bit, I don't know, a little bit slow somehow.
Yeah, I think Russia have always been in control.
Yeah.
But just can't get any more than 2 shots ahead.
That sums it up. Pretty much. Quite a number of open ends. Which usually means they're less spectacular shots generally. But it is an important game for both these teams, because one of them's going to end up with an opening day of 2 losses.
So China probably just going to look to freeze this yellow. As you look at the comparative stats, Wang at 75, Sidorova 85. That's probably a true reflection.
Sidorova with 100% draws, she's made them all. And Wang has certainly improved, because she was at 56 after 3 ends. But always trying to play catch up, really. Wow, that was almost very good. Just a fraction too far, leaving the takeout as a fairly easy shot for Anna Sidorova in the 8th end.
Дальше было? 8,75 было?
85 было.
Да, нет, у меня было 9. Сейчас даже
85
так.
9
Там
было,
так
да.
все валит, но...
So it just needs to play a straightforward takeout in this. And it force China to play the takeout. Or do you think they'll go for the draw, or will they play the takeout?
Господи боже.
I think they'll just go for the draw shot here, because if she just makes a mistake with this take out, she's going 3 down. So draw to the fully in the blue a little bit more.
You expect her to make this, Richard?
I do, yes. So
还是4秒。
should be straightforward in the 8th end of play. Actually, her draw weight's been pretty good in this game. Not as good as her opposition, but steady. So it's a nice speed, the ice.
全力要
And
hurry
over panicking maybe.
向
are
上全力要 OK
Yeah, no problem.
个水平
Fully into the forefoot, touching the 1 foot perhaps, if it wasn't removed.
偷袭后排争取扣1分，然后还是控的1分也可以，然后
So 1 stone to China there. Now the score back to a 1-point game, 5-4 in favour of Russia over China. So 9th end begins.
先搞进来啊 OK 好球
5-4 for Russia in number 9.
немного Кажется, надо Люсь первый
So Ekaterina Galkina
Нельзя
trying to draw around the centre guard. It's just back of the tee, so China will be able to maybe just follow it down. Looks pretty good, Richard.
Yeah, nice shot. Very nice. We've seen 1 or 2 stones down that precise line into the button on the out turn. Nice draw there. And that one's about as good as it gets. So we have Katerina Galkina, her second stone here.
Подсядет пока сам.
Doesn't get right in behind and on top of the red, but does enough to move things around and certainly gives them some options.
Yeah, pretty good actually. she caught a little less of that, it would just ping off and leave it lying in behind. But she's a quarter covered on the stone there. So Qing Sheng Hui once more. Well, what do you think of that?
Not what they asked for, let's say. It gives Russia an opportunity now to get rid of the guards. So. And that's not what Anna Sidorova would have liked.
No, that's a bad one. Leaving the shooter out there, half checking the stones in the house. So no raise possibility on if it gets to that kind of shot. So China at the moment lying first stone. Xing Shuang Hui. Quite happy just to put a guard up here. China, remember, trying to steal 1 point and looking in reasonable shape to do that. And as we look at it from the other end there, Anna Sidorova asking Galkina to take the guards off, if possible more than one. Well, she does. Great shot from Margarita Fominar. So now another look at this. Super shot from Russian second player. Just what was ordered. Back to China. Yin Liu. Trying to replace the guard. Need to be a little bit careful not too far up. That's a fairly good shot, I think.
I think you could have another go at the guard with this one, Richard. I don't think you should be tempted to come around.
Well, that's what Sidorova is indicating. The raise on the front stone at the stones in the 4 foot and 1 foot circle.
Trying to move something in the house for this one as well.
Oh, very good shot. China may still lie, but the whole thing's been opened right up. Really good shot there from Privovkova. Trying to put the guard back in place.
So that one just over curling, and I think we'll see Russia go after the shot stone now.
Yes, I think so.
So sheet B, Switzerland were trailing 3-1. They now lead 5-3. Daniel Gaspari for Italy, trying to hit and roll for single. Just catches the wrong side and will give up a steal of 2. So Switzerland 7-3 leaders in that one, heading into the 9th end.
So a nice roll there, but still a chance for China to come round the guard. And that stone of the Russians remaining in the back of the house, which is a good prospect to act as a catcher for Chinese stones zooming out the house. If you get caught by that Russian one if it's placed just in the right position. So that's the danger of stones in the back of the house, behind the tee line.
So still a chance for China. But, Russia looking good.
This, the first of the skipped stones here in the 9th end. Bing Yu Wang is trying to come round this guard. She's passing it by quite a bit. Weight all important. She has to be up here to lie first shot. Well, she does it, and it curls nicely behind to lie in front of the tee line. It's a nice shot from Bing Yu Wang.
Yeah, over on sheet A, Sweden, Latvia. Sweden leading 6-3. Maria Pritz for Sweden with her last stone, needing to draw against 3 Latvian counters. And this one coming down pretty nicely. Don't seem too unhappy with it. And it will come down to the nose, and they will pick up a single point, and they'll lead 7-3 after 8.
Back in our game still. Considering the shot here, the Russians. 3 stones remaining, 2 for Sidorova and 1 for Bing Yu Wang for China.
Тетя, насколько сейчас вызвала, не знаете? 6, но она посмотрит. Нет, 7 нет.
Короче, толкнуть нормально, не обязательно его прям выталкивать. И так замазать. Все будет хорошо. 55.
Interestingly, Sidorova not electing to take the stone off, but following it round. I think she's a bit heavy with that one. She certainly is. Well, that was perhaps her loosest shot of the evening. Now, can the Chinese capitalise on that error? From Sidorova. You can see that Russia are lying the first shot in the back of the house. They do have last stone advantage here. But China have the chance to come and just lock right onto that, lie first shot. In turn, draw for Bing Yu Wang.
Well, probably would like to sit two. Going to really have to go hard if they're going to move this one. Have they done enough? Do enough to sit one.
Well, not what the doctor ordered there. Just rolls off, but there's a very good chance, as you can see from the indication of the brush. Tap the side of that red one through the little gap there. Roll to the right as we look at it from the overhead camera, and Russia will pick up a pair. They lead by a shot here. China pressing for the steal of a point, but take a poorish shot from Sidorova to deliver them their steal. And she hasn't shown much fallibility in this game. So the tap back to lie two for a 3-point advantage with one end remaining.
And they'll really have to go hard to get it past the top guard.
I think they'll do that all right. But they don't want it to draw too much, or they'll be pushing it.
Have they got lucky? I think they have. They do pick up the single.
Oof. So only 1 point for Russia. They will now lead 6 shots to 4 going into the 10th end.
Чуть за, возможно. Не-не-не.
Welcome back to the Titlis Glacier Mountain World Women's Curling Championships, live from the Volvo Sports Centre, Riga, Latvia. We're covering the second draw of the round robin stages. And it's China taking on Russia, and it's Russia leading 6-4 in this 10th end. China will need to score at least 2 shots if they want an extra end, or if they've got any hopes of winning this game. So, Ekaterina Galkina always asked for this one right in on top of the one she played with her first. I'm not surprised that they threw the guard with this one. I don't think that's very wise. Over a sheet D, Rachel Homan. taking on Scotland's Eve Muirhead. Scotland leading 5-4.
Wait only, wait only.
Woman trying to draw the forfeit through the port.
Wait only.
Sweepers looking pretty happy with this one. Is this going to pull up in time? It's not. And it's going to be a steal of one. Scotland now leading 6-4. So China utilising the corner guard and going around it straight away. Deciding to just, rather than hit the open stone, just take the guard off. And try and give nowhere to hide for Team China. Oh, great effort at the corner guard. And there already is one game complete. Italy, Switzerland. Switzerland managing to win 9-3 after trailing 3-0 early on. Again, China will just continue to throw the corner guard and run some stones through. They do still look pretty good for scoring two on this end.
打甩吧，打定啊，打甩都行。11秒。
I think they've elected to do the takeout this time on the one in the forefoot. I think I might have threw one more corner guard, Richard, rather than playing a takeout in this. And the reason being, you're running the stones through.
That's right. If you could somehow engineer another little error out of the Russians, you might be able to pick up 3 shots here. Not that the game's ever really shown much chance of a 3 being scored all the way through, but you've got to go for it. Trailing by 2 at the moment. It looks the best that could happen would be a tied game in an extra end, but well, that was close, but It's always going to be a tough double. And Bing Yu Wang calling for a timeout for a coach interaction.
Are you in favour of these coach interactions, Richard?
No.
Well, I'll leave you to ponder that one, but over, in over in Sheet A, Sweden, Latvia. Latvia looking to try and pick up a single to try and take this game into 10th and possibly final end. And they do that, they hit and stick. So that score now 7-4 in Sweden's favour.
The Latvians, of course, playing in their home city. Home crowd to watch them.
Have got a few supporters in this evening. It's good to see.
So China lying one, as you can see from that nice view. One guard belonging to Russia, just out in front. And Bing Yu Wang now indicating the draw. Down and around that guard into the top of the 4-foot circle to lie 2. From our third player. This one looks as if it's going to need sweat most of the way. All the way, in fact. Must get past the guard. Oh. Well, it's still in, fortunately for them, but a bit of a chance missed there.
Yeah, the reason they're going for the high one is they might get a hit and roll in behind, or does over curl, might get the double.
So a clear view of the shot being hit for Anna Sidorova with her first stone here in the last regulation end. The score (6-4) for Russia. And as it lies, we might be into an extra end. But if Sidorova can make a good shot here, you never know. Out turn, take out. Anti-clockwise rotation. Must get past the guard though. She's not caught in the guard. No, she's not. Catches a smidgen of the stone in the house. Enough to send it to the boards. Her shooter runs out. And this is an opportunity for Bing Yu Wang definitely to pick up 2. So a repeat attempt similar to her third player here. Curl round the short yellow guard belonging to Russia, lie on the top of the 8-foot circle. I think you would then find that the Russians would take out that open counter, and then the worst that could happen would be an extra end. Should be almost a certainty, unless she could get a good result from the hit out. So here, Bing Yu Wang have to sweep this one all the way. What she must not do is finish short of the house. That would be a disaster. Oh, that is such a poor shot at this stage. Really terrible shot from Bing Yu Wang. That's pretty awful, really. If you're a full-time professional curler and you can't draw the 12-foot in the 10th end, not much hope, really, is there?
No, especially a former world champion as well. So.
Absolutely, she's gone from the top to the bottom in 2 years, 3 years. 11th last year, an awful shot there with her second last stone. And now no problem for Sidorova. Hit this stone of Wang's out, and the game is Russia's.
Nice takeout, and that will be a win for Russia. And China dropped to 0 and 2. So the handshakes all round. Now Russia do get off the mark with a win. A sore defeat to Germany earlier today.
Я, правда, из-за прожекторов ничего не вижу.
China losing to Denmark earlier this morning and going down to Russia. So 6-4 the final score. So from us here at the Volvo Sports Centre in Riga, Latvia, thanks for listening. Fourth end, Russia versus China. It was Anna Sudrova needing to play a draw to try and pick up two. Supers doing their bit, and that one came down and stopped in the forefoot, and they took a 4-1 lead. Fifth end, China with their last stone, looking for a takeout to try and narrow the gap. Played it perfectly, they scored two, and the score was 4-3. Ninth end, Anna Sudrova facing one red stone in the 1 foot area, trying to just bump it back for the single. This one just curling all the way down, catches the top red, gets a little lucky, but stays in the 4 foot, and they managed to get a two-shot advantage. And in the 10th end, they run China out of stones and picked up their first win here in Latvia. Elsewhere, Sweden 7-4 winners over Latvia. Italy after a 3-0 lead, giving up 9 shots to Switzerland. And over in Sheet D, great start for Scotland, taking a win up against Canada, 6-4. There we'll take a look at the standings. Switzerland 2-0, Denmark, Germany, United States, Scotland, Sweden and Russia all have 1 win.
Okay.
You see Italy down there with 0-2. China actually have 0-2 as well. So I'm going to net for.
So you got off to a good start there with 2 single points, but you could never establish a big lead in the game.
Well, yeah, that was pretty close game, but more or less we were leading through the whole game, but it was tough to keep the score, like tough to be close, you know, like every shot gonna be like really good, and only like if you play really good then you can control the game, so we were trying to.
I certainly thought you did control the game all the way, really, and especially with your draw shots. You were in top form on the draws tonight.
Well, yeah, you know, like every shot is to play is really difficult because we're here and we're playing the walls, and here we can see the most strongest team like from all the world, and yeah, gonna be like really difficult every stop, even if it's gonna seem like really easy one, but it's always nerves and you can control yourself, and yeah, altogether it's not so easy as it could be.
Did you feel additional pressure after the loss on the first round?
Well, yeah, sure, it was a bit more tough like to play after not so good start, but we know that we can play better, and we are trying our best, and we're trying to increase our level from the very game, like every game, to increase, so that to play absolutely 100% at the finals.
And does being European champions also add a little bit of extra pressure?
Yeah, that's extra pressure, sure, for sure. And also other teams, like when they are playing against you, it's not like it was before when they will probably, who's it? Oh, Russia, well, it will be easy. No, now we feel like every team, they're taking serious, and they're trying to play as good as they can, really. So it's, after being a European Championship, it's only going to be like much more aggressive from other teams.
Well done tonight. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
So thanks for tuning in for the coverage between China and Russia. So from us all here in the Volvo Sports Centre, thanks for watching.